guys? Like Bossk 67 here. Sorry this video is out really late, like a couple days after the episode. I've been really busy, but I still wanted to get this video out there for you guys. And sorry if the audio is really weird. I am not in the best place to record, but I don't have a lot of options right now. But anyway, let's get into the video. And so I'm reviewing the Clone Wars episode 11, Shattered, which this episode did leave me kind of shattered. It was very sad. It was probably one of my favorite episodes. I loved how the Mandalorian prison was basically like an early version of Carbonite. That was pretty cool, and it reminded me a lot of like Carbonite. I don't know if that was intentional. I think it probably was. It was kind of a callback to the Old Republic days when the Mandalorians would fight the Jedi, since they said it was like a Force-sensitive kind of prison thing. So that was pretty cool. I love saying that. And Ahsoka and Bo-Katan have come like a really long way from when they had fought back in like, I forget which season it was, but when they had fought before, when Ahsoka and Lux were on that moon. And they've just come a really long way, and they have a really cool relationship. And I think they did a really good job of showing their friendship. And I realized in this episode, Mace Windu is basically at fault for almost the entire fall of the Republic and the Jedi, because if Ahsoka had been able to tell them about Darth Sidious and stuff, then they probably could have prevented a lot and realized a lot more ahead of time. But Mace Windu was so caught up and so prideful about the Jedi, and since Ahsoka wasn't a Jedi, he didn't care anymore. And also it was very interesting that Ahsoka said, "I'm not a Jedi, not yet." So that means like if the Jedi hadn't been destroyed, then Ahsoka probably would have joined back, which is really sad to think about. But I'm kind of glad she never did join the Jedi, because she's a lot better not being a part of the Jedi and not being restricted by the Council and things like that. Also, this doesn't really pertain to this episode, but I was hoping Maul would have mentioned Savage or something like that at this point, but it's fine. I still think Ahsoka probably could have told them about Sidious, because she could have said something, and all she was asking was like, she asked them their plan, and then they were like, "Oh, we can't tell you because you're a citizen." But I feel like she still could have told them without ever mentioning Anakin or telling them all that about what Maul said about Anakin Skywalker. I feel like she didn't have to include that, and she could have told them about the plans that Sidious had. Also, I was wondering, the shuttle that was carrying Maul on his little prison thing, why did it have Coruscant guards? Does that mean it came from Coruscant? Did the cruiser already have some, like, the shock troopers? Like, why were they there? Or did they send, like, a special shuttle just from Coruscant to pick up Maul? Like, I don't know. I just thought that was a little weird. I figured it would have had 501st guards, but it was cool to see them. And one thing that was very shocking in this episode is that I started to see the clones as all, like, bad guys, or, like, rather than the good guys. Like, when I would see a bunch of clones, I'd be like, oh, I would get paranoid, because I'd be like, oh no, that's all those clones with Ahsoka during Order 66. And I would just think of all the clones as bad guys, like how I would think of stormtroopers or something like that. And it was really sad, because, I mean, the clones were always like my favorite characters. I love seeing like all the clones like capturing the Mandalorians and foreshadowing what would happen in Star Wars Rebels later with the Imperial occupation and all that. The music was really good in this episode. It was a lot different from pretty much any Star Wars content we've ever had, but it was really good, and it was just really good at making you feel paranoid. I saw a lot of people comparing it with Blade Runner. Also, I noticed that no other clone really talked in the episode besides Rex. They all just like nodded or saluted, which really added to all the paranoia and like concern. In this episode, you can really see that Ahsoka and Rex have like one of the coolest relationships in Star Wars, and they're just really cool, and it was really sad to know what was about to happen. And then we heard from the lines from episode 3, like when Order 66 was happening, Ahsoka could sense what was happening to Anakin and his fall to the dark side. And then they mixed Matt Lanner's voice with Hayden's on the line, "What have I done?" which was very sad. And I really loved seeing that and hearing that. It was very nostalgic, and it just added to it, and it really connected the Clone Wars with the films. And I kind of wish we saw our own Order 66 scene, like, with Clone Wars characters, like we maybe got to see, like, even redone scenes from Revenge of the Sith in animation. But, like, I would have loved to see what would happen to the younglings from that one Clone Wars arc. or what, see like a scene of Anakin and the 501st storming the temple. But this was also fine. This was almost perfect. I would just like to see that in Clone Wars animation style. I didn't expect Rex to turn right away, so it was kind of surprising when I saw like his helmet shaking and dropped, and then he like pulled his guns on Ahsoka. But that was heartbreaking, and like you could see that he was crying and that he dropped his helmet and he was trying to fight it all he could. I love that he mentioned fives, since we haven't really heard much about fives in a while. I was glad that they included him in there. And the music was really great. The classic Order 66 music was really, I think they changed it up a little bit and made it a little different, but it was great. And it was just really sad to see Ahsoka fighting the clones. And when Palpatine came on the hologram to tell Rex to execute Order 66, he didn't look as shriveled as I thought he would. I thought he'd look more like a raisin, like he did in Episode 3. He looked just kind of normal, except like his skin looked a little odd, but it's fine. That's kind of more of a nitpicky thing. I love that how Ahsoka had rescued Maul. I think we were all expecting Ahsoka to give Maul a lightsaber and like team up with him, and that's what Maul thought too. And then she's just like, no, I'm just going to use you. I don't care if you die. I just need a diversion. I thought that was pretty funny that Ahsoka did that, and very cool of her too, that she isn't really restricted by all the morality of the Jedi anymore. She's just kind of her own now. Seeing R7 again, Ahsoka's droid, was very nostalgic. We haven't seen her for like, last time we saw her, it was that one Ahsoka arc where she left the Jedi when she was in her interceptor. I think that was the last time we saw R7, but I didn't expect to see R7 again. And then there was that droid that was similar to Chopper. I thought that was a nice callback. I saw some people thinking it was Chopper, but Chopper was in the Battle of Ryloth, so he wouldn't be on that cruiser. Maul's hallway scene was really awesome, very reminiscent of Rogue One and the Vader hallway scene. I love that he only used the Force and he didn't have any lightsabers. And then when it was like so brutal, and then he cut off that clone's arm with the door. Yeah, that was... Normally, I'd feel really bad for the clones, but in this case, you know, since the clones are kind of the bad guys in this episode, I didn't feel as much this time. It felt really weird to see Ahsoka and Rex like chasing each other and stuff. It felt odd. And then when I love how Ahsoka had said the thing from Rogue One, like, I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me. Then Rex did it. So I'm wondering what kind of Force power that is, and if any other Jedi was able to do that. Because I'm wondering, like, maybe that ability is a side effect of when on Mortis the sister had like Anakin had transferred the sister into Ahsoka, and I'm wondering if that was kind of a side effect of that, and maybe she did the same thing with Rex, or if that was just a thing where she like just kind of went into his mind or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, that was an awesome scene. I really loved that. And I didn't expect Rex to shoot his own brothers like right away, but I think we'll see more of it later. I think in the next episode we'll see probably Rex and Jesse have to fight or something like that. But next episode will be really sad. This was one of the best Clone Wars episodes. Sorry if this video was kind of odd or I didn't formulate my opinions very well. I'm just have to record this very quickly. I have a lot of stuff I got to do and busy. And sorry if you hear birds in the background. I'm outside right now. I don't have many places to record. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe for more content like this. Well, except normally the content will be a lot more higher quality, but you get what I mean. And thank you all for watching. Like a Bossk, out.